Good day and welcome back to another Dbz Dokkan Metal video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at the final trump card mission for the Wishes Backfire event, and this is the stage 8 against good old Omega Shenron. Now, final trump card honestly is a very interesting category. I think there is currently 3 leads. So, well, technically 4, but so you have the Tech Vegeta, you have Strength Gogeta, you have the Physical Goku and Vegeta, the Buu units, and then you have the Int Goku. Now, I would not suggest using Int Goku at all. There is a Strength Super Saiyan 3 Goku on JP, but we don't have that. I wouldn't use the Int Space Goku. He's better off against groups of enemies and just isn't really someone I'd utilize. Then you have the Physical Buu Boys, who are probably the best choice, and I'll explain why. Then you have Strength Gogeta, who I really like here, and then you have Tech Vegeta. Now, I would not bring Tech Vegeta because the final phase is Int, and although Tech Vegeta is very good, you're 1 or 2 AoE attack hits away from being in a bad position. Whereas with Gogeta, yeah, you'll take damage, definitely, depending on how much he's built up, but you should be okay. Now, the reason why I would take the Buu Boys is double fold. So how this works, or how this team build works, so instead of saving your items for later on in the run, like most times when you do a run, so most times when you do like a hard content, you save your items for later on. We're going to be using our items early on because we have a heavy physical team. So basically we're using our items to give us smooth progression until the final phase, at which point we will then have the upper hand because the majority of our team is very strong against Omega Shenron. And this is based off of the fact that we're going to be using Super Saiyan 3 Goku and Vegeta, who do raise their defense very quickly. So we're basically going to have them, 2 of them, on each rotation, raising their defense like to very high levels. We're talking like both of them will be close to 1 million. Pretty much by the time we get to the Omega Shenron phase. We then also have double standby skills from them. The standby skill is very important. It's not only a big portion of damage, but it is also like really good in the sense that it basically, you know, how can I say, like allows us to also protect ourselves, but you have to be very careful, and I'll explain why when we get to the Omega Shenron section about what you need to do to make sure you do things properly. But yes, so we have them, that's our double lead. You can see that we're using the Whis items at the beginning of the tech phase and at the strength phase, so we have no items for the final portion of this fight. We then have the AGL Super Saiyan God SS Vegeta and Goku, who are going to be great, and we have AGL Zamasu. Now, AGL Zamasu, although with no links or anything like that, he will do more than fine. He'll take damage. I definitely wouldn't suggest him getting super attacked in the final phase by Omega Shenron. He doesn't have his big links activated, so his defense is a lot less than what it would be on an extreme team. If you have the Tech Zamasu, you could definitely sub him in and make them a pairing. They will be a very nice pairing together, and you could definitely do that as well. Now, AGL Zamasu is very good. We're going to keep him on rotation to stack his defense. We're going to keep the God Boys on rotation to allow them to build up their defense. Gogeta, we're just going to float Strength Gogeta, let him build up his attacks naturally. We're not going to force anything with him. He's mainly here for his active skill and the damage he can bring. And we want to save his, it's very crucial that you save his active skill for when you take on the Int phase of Omega. So you'll see when we get to that point that I will use Gogeta's active skill in the 3rd slot. This is to trigger his evasion mechanism and allow him to be defensively sound in that final phase. In the strength phase, you are going to overpower Omega eventually through sheer force of will because of how high you're stacking your defense. So the Whis basically allows you to get yourself to the point where you've stacked so high that you essentially can finish things relatively easily. And then finally, the big ticket item, or one of the other final pieces, is obviously the Android 17. Fantastic unit. We're talking 70% universal defense, damage reduction of 40% as well, which is really, really good. And his defense gets to a decent level. Remember, below 77% health, he has 57% damage reduction, and he's going to have type advantage against Omega, and he's providing the rest of our team with 77% defense. So the lower health threshold does help him out quite a lot. Obviously, you're at a risk during the strength phase for sure, but during the Omega phase, you're basically, you're good to go. He's really good. I mean, he can even, if you get enough additional super attacks and that, he can even tank to a certain extent the Omega Shenron as well, like just due to how his damage reduction and guard and raising of defense all works. So the SS2 and SS3 combo are definitely the big carriers of this run. You want to save the standby skill for the Omega Shenron phase. You can proc it or activate it near the end of the strength phase if you believe you're confident to finish off Omega Shenron without their damage. What that'll do is it just gives you a bit more time to build up orbs entering into the Omega Shenron phase. Now, when we are taking on Omega Shenron, you need to be a little bit careful with when you use the standby skill. If you're super low on health, rather pick up physical orbs with the SS2 duo in that turn and use a standby skill of the one in the next turn. They heal huge. Like, we're talking like 4 orbs will get you like a couple 100k health due to how high their defense is. 4 physical orbs. So making sure that you use them to kind of heal up is super important, and really does help you out like quite a lot. So I would definitely suggest making sure that you do that. I think it will 100% help you out a lot, and I think it's very, very pivotal towards how well you do. Now, of course, we also have the active skill of AGL Vegeta. Of course, we're going to use that immediately. So AGL Vegeta, once you transform him, is very strong. Very good defensive boost as well. We're going to use his active skill immediately because it guarantees evasion and also guarantees extra damage as well. And we'll use that literally on cooldown. So once you transform him, if you can use the active skill, use the active skill. Otherwise, you have to be a bit careful where you place him. Probably running him in the second slot is maybe better because it's a bit safer for you. And then you can see here we're using the Gogeta active skill. I am using the standby skill of the Super Saiyan 2 and 3 duo. The reason being is because I know that they can tank a super attack from Omega, which is very important, especially since we're so close to the end. And also the extra damage will help. And basically the idea is that we essentially are going to have them be our first slot tank. Because of how high their defense is now at this stage, they'll definitely be hard carrying us in terms of raw defense. You can see here they take like 55k. And now all we're relying on is Gogeta to dodge. Now Gogeta can take exactly 1 hit, and there are 2 group attacks. So if Gogeta dodges just 1, we basically have the event beaten, because Gogeta will finish off Omega Shenron with his damage. So Gogeta dodges the first, and then he dodges the second anyway, which leaves us basically guaranteed to win. And then we get to kind of like, we get to, I guess, celebrate victory early, which is good. It was a good run, definitely a lot of fun. Very interesting run, required a lot of good timing with the active skills. Using your standby skill properly. Don't be scared to use Whis items or just your items in general early on. This team needs ramp up time, so once it gets going, it definitely performs way better. So I would highly suggest that you feel okay using your items. It's not bad. If you get through the strength phase, you have so much advantage here. It's really good. And shout out to Physical Vegeta, who does a great job in this fight. And honestly, does a really great job. He won't tank a super, but tanks normals really well. And just, can boost the rest of our team as well with his super attack. So I think Vegeta really did well. I was very impressed with him. And that's it from me. So that's it from me. That's the team build. That's everything. But Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Till then, bye.